This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2025 Salem travel trailer. Model number 27RK. Okay, so this is kind of a how-to video. I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work, okay? So here we are at the door side rear. You have powered stabilizer jacks. So one switch controls both rear jacks. There's a switch up front that controls both front jacks. This has on-demand hot water. Okay. Obviously the control panel is inside the trailer. And this right here is the master switch to turn it on and off. It's turned off right now because it's winter and it's got antifreeze in the system. I'll show you a little bit more about it when we get inside, and I'll talk you through the panel, okay? Now it has a power awning with LED strip, outside speaker. This is a quick connect for a sprayer for water. This is a vent for the range hood here. Make sure if you're venting the outside of that baffle in there, you want it to be flapping freely, so make sure you pop it loose with your finger or your thumb. Okay. We have a refrigerator here and a slide-out griddle. Now this griddle has to be plugged in here, so you have a quick connect here on the end of this hose, and that will connect to the connection right there underneath the trailer. Okay, so that's how you get LP to the griddle. Okay, you have obviously a mount for TV. You got 120 AC, and then you got signal out right here. Okay. There's your front stabilizer switch there. This is your fresh water tank fill. The most common way to get water to the trailer is the city water hookup. But if you're camping someplace like boondocking, for example, where you don't have city water, you can pre-fill your city water tank right here and then use the onboard pump to pump the water. I'll talk to you more about that when we get inside and show you where the pump switch is and that sort of thing, okay? Okay, so this small crank here is for the power tongue jack in case it fails. So if we come up here, power tongue jack with a light. If it ever fails, you can pull this rubber plug off of here at the top, put that crank on there, and you can crank it manually to get yourself out of trouble. You also have two LP tanks, deep cycle marine battery, and a kill switch for the battery right here. And that can disconnect the battery from the trailer. Okay, here's your sprayer that we talked about for water. This is your dump hose kit. Okay. So we have your valves right here. The larger valve is always the black tank valve right there. That's black tank is obviously toilet water and waste, and the gray is sink and shower water. You can see that you have a 50 amp power cord, and then we have a reducer for you to reduce it down to a 30. And then there's another one to reduce it down to a 20. But I'll have to walk around to the other side to get there because I can't squeeze through there without getting squished here. So let me work around to the other side. Watch the ice. Okay. Okay. So, there's where you plug in your 50 amp power cord. You have an outside shower / sprayer here. You're pre-wired for a Furrion backup camera kit. We sell them here. You can get them elsewhere. Just make sure you get the kit that fits that housing if you're interested. And then you have this hookup for a Lippert extending ladder, which makes it easy to inspect the roof. The manufacturer states that every 90 days you should inspect the roof. So somebody needs to go up there and look around, make sure there's no damage to any of the roofing attachments or roofing material that would be caused by low branches or road debris or anything like that. Look at this sealant and make sure there's no cracking or separation where water can get through. Things like that. You can't see what's happening up on the roof unless you look, so inspecting is very important. Odds are you won't have to do anything for a long time, but you just don't know. That's why you inspect. Okay? This is your city water hookup here, the most common way to get water to the trailer. And this is your black tank flush here. Like it says on this sticker here, always have the black tank valve open before you turn the water on to this port here. So after you dump your black tank, you leave the valve open, and then you would come back here and hook up the hose at the dump station and turn it on. But never do that with the valve closed because you don't want too much pressure to build up. Okay, so now let's go inside. Hopefully it's warm in there. Okay. Oh yeah, I can feel it. Okay, so let's see, we'll start, let me wipe my feet here. We'll start right here. This is a master light switch and it has a dimmer on it here. Okay, so your slide out switch here, your power awning switch here. Never leave the awning out unattended. If you're not going to be at the campground, roll it in, or the campsite, roll it in. You turn on your water pump here. Remember, the water pump is used to pump water out of the fresh water tank if you don't have city water. It's also used to winterize the trailer. And then you have your levels, batteries, chard, fresh water, black and gray. Okay. This is just a pre-wire for a solar kit. So it's pre-wired for solar. This would hold, there's wire behind it plus the mount for a Go Power solar controller. And then there are standardized solar ports on the roof for solar panels. So it's pretty simple to add if you ever want to add solar. This is your Bluetooth here. You do have a USB-C right there, but you have controls here, obviously, and that's where you hook up your Bluetooth and you can stream whatever you want through the system. This is your thermostat. Obviously, you're just going to push the button here till you get to the mode. This is right there. Heat is playing or is running. I'll leave it on heat. Go like that. You can set the temperature now if you wanted to. And you push it again and you're all set. So we're set at 72 degrees and the heat's running. You can turn on the air conditioner, the fan, whatever you want from here, okay? Alright, so let's move into the living area. See what we got here. Of course, you have your TV. Okay, you have a fireplace. I'm looking to see if he's got the remote sitting out where they should be. Having a hard time getting stuff in the right. I didn't prep this one myself, so I gotta get on the same team here when it comes to stowing the stuff for demo. But I'll just talk you through it. Obviously the TV and the fireplace have a remote. They also have regular buttons on it. So the buttons are right here, and there's a remote also. It's also a good space heater. It's kicking out the heat right now. Your TV works like any other TV, of course. It's got a strap on it to keep it from coming off the wall when you're traveling. Also, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a green LED right there. That should always be green. That is for the digital antenna. So you can shut it off by pushing this little black button next to it, but you want it on to get a good signal. Okay. When it comes to your sofa, this jackknife's flat and turns into a bed, of course. This comes out farther and goes in for some place to sit for a dinner. I showed you the garbage pail and your drawers, more drawers, a little pantry, or a big pantry actually. This is a 12 volt DC refrigerator. 12 volt DC. Okay. Range hood under here. I showed you the vent on the outside, and I told you that you want the baffle flapping freely if you're venting to the outside. If you remember, make sure you do that if you're running the fan and cooking and you want to vent to the outside. Microwave works like any other microwave. Your range works like most RV ranges do, in that you have a sparker here. Then you have 3 knobs for the 3 burners, and then the last one on the right is for the oven. I don't know if you just changed out the tank, so I'm not going to. Basically, you have to work the bubble past the air bubble, and out of the line when you first hook it up. Let me just set this down. I need 2 hands to do this. There we go. Very simple. I don't know if you can see that, but see it now. Okay. When it comes to the oven, you've got a pilot light at the bottom all the way to the back. Let me see if we can see it spark. Yes. So basically you go to the flame, you depress it and you hold it in while you're lighting it. You spark this until the pilot light lights. After it lights, you're still holding this in. After you see the pilot light, you hold it for another 10 or 15 seconds to heat up the thermocouple. Then you go to operating temperature. And when you shut it off, the flame goes out, so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Okay. Make sure this is closed when you're traveling. Okay. This is all your stuff here, your literature, and some other stuff, maybe the remotes. Yes. Here are your remotes here. This is your fireplace remote, and there's your TV remote. Okay. Little touch-up crayon and marker for the wood. Your key is hanging here on the faucet. Okay, so I must have walked. Oh, here it is here. This is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. It should always be glowing green. If it's not, get it serviced. It's obviously very important. This is your power converter. You start with, when you're plugged into shore power, you've got 120 AC right here at the circuit breakers. They're all labeled. Then the power's converted to 12 volt DC on this side, so you got 12 volt DC fuses here and they're all labeled. That's where the DC power comes from. It also tends your battery, so when you're plugged into shore power, it's going to sense how much energy your battery up on the tongue has and needs. And if it's mostly charged, it'll just trickle a couple amps up there. If it's low, it'll send 10 amps or whatever is necessary to keep it charged. When your tow vehicle is pulling the trailer down the road, the alternator on your tow vehicle will charge the battery, and when you're plugged into shore power, this power converter charges the battery. Okay? All right. Okay, so let's move on a little bit here to the bathroom. There we go. So, this is not off or turned on right now because it has antifreeze in it in the dead of winter, but this just changes, this button here changes it from Celsius to Fahrenheit. That's the on and off button there. This is up and down temperature, right? So when it's turned on, you'll come in here and you just push the on off button, and it'll tell you on the screen what it's set at, and it's usually 120 Fahrenheit. Sometimes it's 115, but you can change that by going up or down, setting the temperature you want. So you do that. This will always light unless it doesn't sense any water. So in order for the gas burner to light, it has a built-in safety. One of these things has to occur. You either has to have the city water hose hooked up with the city water turned on, right? Or you have to have water in your fresh water tank with the water pump turned on. If you don't have one of those two things, then it will not light. It'll sense that there's no water and it'll protect itself. So keep that in mind. But saying everything's hooked up okay, all you have to do at that point is turn on a hot water tap, whether it be the one outside or the one in here or the shower or the kitchen. And when you do that, you'll see a wheel start to turn up here on the screen. Then you'll see a animated kind of flame lighting, and then after it lights, it'll get kind of solid, and then you'll see the temperature start to rise rapidly from whatever the ambient temperature is to you know, whatever this is set at. Let's say it's set at 120, so it'll go up to 120 real quick. Then you get a steady flow of non-stop hot water. So it's a great thing. They're switching over. You know, I see more. We just started seeing these a few years ago. Now I don't know what percentage of the trailers we see have these, but it's going up rapidly. So it's taking over and putting the 6-gallon tank and the 10-gallon tank out of business. So it's great to actually have enough water to take a shower. So yeah, so that's how that works. The toilet works like all RV toilets do. It sits right over a black tank, and you're going to get to the campground. There's a flush pedal right there if you can see it. You get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water, of course. Then you come here and put a dose of chemical right in the bowl. Then you'll stand on the pedal and hold it down till at least a gallon of water goes down into the black tank along with the chemical. Then it's ready to be used. You can use more than a gallon of water, but don't use less. Most people use more. And that's it. If you don't do that, it's considered running it dry, and it'll get clogged up. The smell will be super terrible. It'll just be a mess. So you always want a dose of chemical and at least a gallon of water when you start off, okay? Alrighty. Shower works like any other shower. The sink, same way. This is a GFCI here. All the plugs in the trailer, including the one on the outside, are wired through a GFCI. So if you're using something outside that pops, you'll be resetting it. There's probably two inside this trailer. So one of the two in here. Anytime you can't get power through a receptacle, always think GFCI first. And check them out to make sure they're not popped. 9 times out of 10, that's what it'll be. Okay. Alrighty, so you have a retractable bed here, so let's see what we got. I'm not going to bring it all the way down, just giving you an idea how it works. And of course up is just the opposite, of course. Very simple. This is a 50 amp system. The reason it's a 50 amp system is because it's prepped for a second air conditioner, and that would fit right here. If you're interested in a second AC, we do install them. So basically, the second AC basically will have the controls right on the unit, and you can add another thermostat in a different zone and all that. But the basic installation would just have the thermostat and the control just on the unit, like you'd see at on an air conditioner at home or in many of the travel trailers that just have the ceiling assembly. Okay. Also, let's see what else we have here. TV hookup, obviously, and a backer for a bracket. This is right now it's a closet with wardrobe, but this is prepped for a washer dryer. You can either get a combo or a stackable. Most people seem to like the stackable better. You get faster loads done in generally there's more room in them also. So, but anyway, this is all prepped for that, plumbed and wired for it. Okay, if you're interested in doing that, it's another option. Okay, so I think that about does it. So I'm going to look around here as we walk through here. I think that's pretty much it. Okay, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting the roof every 90 days. It's an important thing to do. You can't see what's happening up there unless you look, so make sure you take care of that. And also, keep in mind you can't see what's happening up there unless you look, and it's important to know what's going on. And you could save yourself a real headache just by inspecting it. Odds are you'll have to do nothing for years and years and years, but you still have to inspect it to make sure that everything is okay up there. You're just protecting your investment. So, and of course we're winterized right now, so the water's been purged from the system and replaced with antifreeze, so we're all set for the rest of the winter. Okay. So when you come to pick up, we can talk you through any other questions you have. We can show you and talk to you, and we'll make sure you understand everything by the time you leave. Okay? Thank you very much.